I was thinking with the pandemic, like, what would be the objective for the government if it was true?
Controlling society a bit better, making sure that we, I don't know.
Stay 2 meters apart?
No, I mean, I guess with like face masks and people, I guess areas have it, and one might end up having its own separate lockdown. I mean, for me, I'm really crap at following rules anyway, so I don't know whether it's just, you know, people are using a lot of their database now. You know, I've even signed on this COVID app where you put your symptoms in. It's like a proper data tracker, so you're tracking those people's data and privately and stuff like that as well. So
yeah,
what's that about?
I wouldn't do that for
Do
me
you know what I
personally, because I feel like in some ways I kind of get why. I get one selling point of that. You want to understand
the virus and
how far it's gone and plan ahead and all that, but there's a little bit of privacy invasion.
Yeah, it feels like a privacy invasion. You know, it's that control thing of like, how many times have you been out this week? Where have you been? Have you been and that's what these apps are asking you.
Oh really?
Yeah, some of them do. Well, this is one app, but it does because it's trying to do this COVID checker and stuff, and it's like, have you worn a face mask and things like this, and it just feels that level of it. You know, it's the point that it's not almost such a control that you can see it. It's almost an underlying thing which you just naturally fall into, having to wear a face mask all the time, but then actually it hasn't been mandatory until now, a few weeks into it. What?
Yeah, the change.
It just seems very odd.
I was wondering if the change maybe came from like an increase or spike that happened.
Have we had any? George, you and me are so bad at looking at the news, aren't we? We're the worst. We can't even have a decent conversation about it because neither of us looked at it. I don't even watch it anymore.
But I do keep my ear out.
Oh, thank God. Can you give me some facts?
I have no facts, but
right.
I still keep my ear out. No, it feels odd. There's some things I
think travel as well, that's the thing which feels weird.
Okay.
Travelling.
Yeah.
You can't travel places like abroad
you can
easily. Well, now they're putting back into like quarantine, isolation. Like in Ireland, when I spoke to my cousin today, she was like, oh no, you should be able to come visit. This is like a couple of weeks ago. Now, they're putting restrictions back in, so if you come back, you have to be if you go to visit Ireland, you have to quarantine for 14 days. I was like, why have you did it, then you're taking it off, and then you put it back in again? What?
Is that factual?
That's what she told me.
Oh. Okay.
In the next couple of months, she said, no, I think next couple of weeks, I'm putting it back in.
I don't know anymore. To be honest, like, it's almost like when this started, I feel like I took a break from life. Like,
laid back George. Just like holiday.
Yeah, sometimes it just felt a bit too much, and every single piece of news I saw, everything I opened on YouTube just related to the virus. Not that it wasn't or isn't important, but I don't know.
It got boring, didn't it?
Yeah, it's almost like there's a problem, which we all know. Yes, there's a virus and stuff, but I don't feel the right type of information sometimes is being spread, and sometimes it feels like there's a lot of fear.
Massively.
You get the government will say one thing or advice, I guess, a method of trying to maybe control the virus, like the 2 meter thing. Personally, I feel like the whole 2 meter rule, I don't think it makes sense to a degree, because I believe everyone breaks that rule. So,
oh yeah, I mean we're doing it now.
Yeah. So.
Oh shit.
No, it's true, because everyone literally breaks that rule. When you go to a supermarket and I can count how many times like I've picked up like I don't know, some vegetables and I'm like, I don't really want that anymore. I've dropped it. And
Put it down.
yeah, it's someone going to spray that
Yeah.
while I talk. Yeah, so it's I don't feel like the right type of advice sometimes has been passed around.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
It feels very mixed advice,
Yeah.
and again, it is like how honest are the government with the advice they're giving?
Yeah.
I think they're very choosy with it, and the fact they trust the science. What the fuck does that even mean? The science? Who's the scientist? What is it? We never see it. You're just telling us, and we have to believe you because you're fear mongering us so much anyway. What other choice do we have?
Yeah, exactly. And it's not to downsell the problem.
No,
like,
guys. I mean,
but
it's real pandemic. It's awful.
But I guess for me, it's I don't know if it's I'm being silly or naive to compare it with like having a cold, for example. But during those occasions when someone has a cold or a flu, there's a way I believe they take care of themselves or just isolate themselves.
Yeah.
Small things like that, like when someone looks like at work, for example, if someone is looking like, oh, they're catching something, like you kind of start distancing yourself in a way from that person. You advise the person to like stay home, recover, drink plenty of fluids and all that. So it's almost like common sense for me. Common sense is a bad word, but
No, I understand.
yeah, I feel my sanity has been saved by almost isolating my mind to a certain degree. I do try my best to at least get updates to understand what's happening, but a lot of the time during these times, it's been good. I don't think I've felt personally
The impact of it.
the impact of it.
Yeah, I do know what you mean. I think you're almost isolating yourself in a separate bubble from the actual thing in your own world, creating another like type of way of life for yourself that you don't integrate with that part of what's going on in society. Does that make sense?
Exactly. It's exactly that. Hearing a lot of conspiracy theories and I just finished one job, I hadn't started the next job.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, is my job going to be there?
Yeah, of course.
And like those thoughts start just weighing on your shoulders, and it's like fear, and just gets worse every day, and it's not really good for your mind.
No, it isn't. And I mean, George, it's great that you did have your job to still go to. So that's brilliant, because that, I think, is more than anything, even job. I think job security is so important, and it is something which is so at the forefront of people's minds. And money, surviving, isn't it? And living and being able to live in a home, be able to look after yourself, even if something does happen, be able to get the right medication to help you. All of that all comes in one package with if you get your job and you've got it still, really.